weather forecasts, and it's all free. Go to foxnews2go.mobi. That's foxnews2go.mobi.
Some people would call him a loser. He ran for state office. He was beaten. He started a business. He failed. He ran for Congress. He lost. He was nominated for vice president. He lost again. But he knew only those who never tried are the real losers. And Abraham Lincoln was no loser. Persistence. Pass it on. From the Foundation for a Better Life at values.com.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
This is the Salvation Army, and I'm Major George Patterson to let you know that the Salvation Army is available 24 hours a day to provide help to anyone. We also have a family store at 120 Northwest 10th Street in Ocala. On Tuesday to Saturday from 9 to 4, you can do your shopping, or if you want to donate, you can call 352-732-4469, and we'll even pick up 352-732-4469. All funds generated by our store go into the programs here in Marion County to help the needy.
Hi, Matt Wilkerson here, your mobile Verizon rep. But not just here, I'll deliver the phone to you in your home. While I'm there, I'll only sell you what you need and I'll personalize it to you. Want to have me get you connected? Then call me at 352-528-0020. I even offer unlimited home phone service for just $20 per month. Just call me, your mobile Verizon rep, at 352-528-0020.
Experience the golden age of aviation with a ride on a fully restored 1929 airliner, EAA's immaculate Ford Trimotor, when it lands at Ocala International Airport Thursday, January 15th through Sunday, January 18th. You can also take a ride on EAA's World War II B-17 bomber aluminum overcast, one of the greatest military aircraft of all time. Book your flights today online at b17.org and flytheford.org or call 1-800-359-6217. Hosted by EAA Chapter 812.
The LPGA Tour will kick off the 2015 season right here in Central Florida at the inaugural Coates Golf Championship presented by R&L Carriers, January 26th to the 31st at Golden Ocala Golf and Equestrian Club. Kids 12 and under get in free with a ticketed adult, so bring the entire family to see 120 of the world's best female golfers compete on a nationally televised stage. For information and tickets, visit CoachGolfChampionship.com.
All right, 5 minutes after 8 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in this Thursday morning. Let's take a look at the temperature real quickly. It is cold out there. I'll just tell you that. It's 30. It actually went down a degree. 30 degrees now.
Wow.
30 degrees. Wow, today's high only expected to reach 50, so it's going to be a cool one. Galen Unold is on the phone from LifeSouth Community Blood Center. Of course, he represents the Blood Center to remind us, for the purpose of reminding us to donate blood. And today he's got jury duty. So.
Yes, he does.
Good morning, Galen. How you doing?
Hey, good morning, Larry, Robin. How are y'all?
Good. You nervous about your jury duty?
No.
Not at all, huh?
No. No.
Are you
I'm
there?
not the one who's on trial.
Do you know in advance if it's somebody you know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. So they clear that first, so you don't sit there and go, oh my gosh,
absolutely.
It's my brother.
Yeah.
That's my brother.
That's correct. Yeah.
I'm supposed to tell you that this segment is sponsored by Penn Flooring.
Yep.
Penn Flooring sponsors this segment with Galen and LifeSouth Community Blood Center, and that's a good thing because it means he is able to remind us all of the importance of donating blood. We, of course, have fun with Galen, but the important message is to get that message out. Penn Flooring provides quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Stop in and visit their spacious showroom at 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. And the other sponsor is EAA. How do you say it?
Yep.
Do you have it in front of you?
Yeah, the Experimental
Can you do it?
Aircraft Association.
You do that.
It's sponsored by the Experimental Aircraft Association. The EAA Air Show is sponsored by EAA Chapter 812. It's going to be at the Ocala Airport on January 16th, 17th, and 18th. So they're sponsoring this segment, and we will have representatives from the EAA on the air with us tomorrow morning at 10:35.
All right. So thank them as well for sponsoring us. That's cool. Air shows are always cool.
Yeah.
Unless there's a tragedy, then that's not so cool. Well, every once in a while you hear about, bad things.
Yeah, they're pretty rare. Yeah.
Yeah, like steak.
Rare
Yeah.
steak, yeah.
That's right.
So you are a juror, and I found here the do's and don'ts of what I, as a normal person, am allowed to say to a juror. So I just want to be sure I don't cross the line.
All right, good.
All right, so
We tend to cross the line here.
So I will. I'll tell you what rules I must follow in talking to you. The rules are what was it? A non-juror talking to a juror. Now after today, you become a non-juror like the rest of us.
That's right.
All right,
That's exactly right.
It's a one-day trial. Okay. So,
Right.
but before we do that, how's the blood supply?
Actually, we're in good shape. I mean, as I've said repeatedly, we always need platelet donors, and we need O negatives right now and A negatives. So, but give blood. That's the bottom line. Is you never know who's going to need it or when they're going to need it. So please give blood.
There you go. And did you get any special instructions about what you can and cannot wear as a juror? Did you get clothing instructions?
Yeah.
What? Yeah, really? What?
Yeah. Well, you have to have a tucked-in shirt. You can't have any shorts or ripped clothing, and apparently that was a problem for some people. So
really?
yeah, absolutely. You need to. Yeah, I mean, it's a. I think. Again, and I said this before, I think people go into this thing with the wrong attitude. I mean, you have somebody's life on the line here. I mean, whether it's murder or not, whether they're going to prison or not. I mean, this is your verdict is going to really, in a lot of ways, decide the rest of their life.
That's right. No,
you have
absolutely.
to take that seriously.
It is the system that sets us apart from the rest of the world.
That's correct.
And
we're the only ones that do it.
And it only happens if we, show up when they ask us to show up.
Right. That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
All right. So, but I have some things I'm not supposed to talk to you about. I'm not supposed to talk to you about myself.
Oh. Oh.
What do you mean? Oh, you mean it's like we're having a conversation or something outside of the courtroom? I don't understand that.
That's what it says. It says avoid talking about yourself. Oh, maybe this is if I'm on trial. Oh, maybe this is. Oh, I see what this is. This is if. Okay, never mind. I thought this was. Here's what this is. If I am the one on trial and I take the stand, I should avoid talking to you, the juror, about myself. In other words, they can't tell you, hey, can I tell you something about myself? Look, I'm a good guy. Okay? Okay?
Oh, I understand what you're saying.
Okay,
now.
look, I'm just like any of you. I own a dog.
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
It's got to stay relevant to the case, kind of a thing.
Right. If I'm taking the stand, if this person who's on trial today takes the stand, he should avoid embarrassing you.
Well, I would hope so. Yeah. I mean, I think he would want to make sure that we're on his side.
Can you imagine?
Right? I mean, you want him to. I would think he would want us to like him.
Yeah. Right. It says here to be civil and professional when addressing the jury.
Yeah, that's smart. Yeah,
Does
that's
the person on the stand even do any of this stuff? I mean, isn't that person usually at the under the guidance of an attorney?
Of course, yeah, I would hope so. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Not always.
A lot of this is a lot of, I guess, unless who was the mass murderer who tried to
represent
himself?
There's been a few of them.
Yeah.
Didn't the guy up in Tallahassee do that?
Speckalink or?
I don't know.
Yeah, there was one in the guy in Florida.
Bundy. Ted Bundy.
Bundy.
Yeah, Ted Bundy tried to
I think
defend
so.
himself.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah, that guy tried to use his good looks. Hey, what happened?
Yeah, he did at all times. He was, he was really creepy.
he was a mass murderer.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really all you need to know about the guy, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So do you know a little bit about the person that's on trial today?
No, I don't know anything about
Nothing
it.
at all. Does the...
No, I mean, again, during jury selection, they give some very, very vague information, but nothing that, no, nothing.
Oh, really? Do you know if it's a
I
male?
know his age. I know what he looks like just because he was in the courtroom, but he didn't speak.
Oh, so you know already it's a he.
Yeah, he's a he. I met him. I mean, he's there, part of the jury selection.
I wonder if this is something you have to ask yourself. Would you be okay? I'm going to use the word prejudiced and try to understand what I'm trying to say here. I don't know if the word prejudice is right, but biased maybe is a better word. If it was a male versus female, like would you know what I mean?
No.
If it's a crime, if it's let's say it's a sex crime, okay?
Okay.
And she is the one who committed the sex crime against a he. Would you feel differently about that than if it was a he, or everything else being the same?
I hope not. I mean,
I would hope not too.
I think that women can be, just as vicious about some of those things as men. So.
I know,
Sure.
but you're a man, and you might be influenced by.
That's a good question. I don't think, it's hard when you're talking about those kinds of things unless you're there.
Well,
unless you.
Okay, but we were there, figuratively speaking, with the
Deborah LaFave.
Thank you, the pretty girl.
Yeah.
I mean, didn't we all say, "Wow, she's so pretty"? And then the next week there was a less than pretty lady who pretty much did the same exact thing, and there was no press at all.
Yeah.
She was thrown in jail, in prison.
Yeah, that was horrible.
Remember that?
I didn't like that verdict for Deborah LaFave, keeping her out of jail and stuff. I didn't like that, or house arrest.
I don't agree that she should have been thrown in jail for 30 years or whatever they were saying.
Yeah, but you're right. She was drop dead gorgeous, and it swayed the legal side,
Right.
but the other lady wasn't, and they threw her in jail for the same crime.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. So today's jury duty. What time is your jury duty? Are you not allowed
9
to?
o'clock.
9 o'clock. All right. So today's a day off. Do they pay you better than LifeSouth pays you?
No, they don't pay me. Yeah, the rule is if your employer will pay you for jury duty, then you don't get your $15 a day.
Oh man.
I mean, again, it's nobody should do this for the money. That's for sure.
No. I was just kidding.
I know.
Yeah.
It's just, but again, I'm amazed. When people found out that I was selected for a jury, they're like, "Oh, you couldn't get out of it." I'm like, "You're not supposed to." I mean, somebody's got to do it, and if you believe in our system, then you have to participate in it.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a good message to say over and over again. Because
I didn't do anything. I was as honest as I possibly could be. I wasn't trying to get out of it. I wasn't trying to be chosen. I was just trying to be me.
Was there any point at all, and this is going to require you being totally honest with yourself, where you thought, "Oh, can I get out of this?"
Of course. When you're there and you realize the enormity of it, right? And I hope everybody does. And once you're in there, once you show up, that's the hardest part. Let's be completely honest. But when you're in that bullpen area and there's 150 to 200 people sitting in the same room,
right?
And you're crowded in there and you're just sitting there bored out of your mind because there's no Wi-Fi in that building. They need to fix that. And they're like, man, I could somehow they need to make this process better. At that point, you're like, how can I get out of this? Just go home. So yeah, absolutely.
So here's what happened for me the day I went to that big room and I was not chosen, and nobody even interviewed me. That's how. I mean, I was just sitting there. They did all the interviews they needed to do. They had everybody they needed, and they said, okay, the rest of you can go. So my whole time there was just sitting there.
Right.
But here's what happened. I was thinking, I wonder what I can say to get out of this. I'm going to be totally honest with you. But you're right. That's not the way to think. But I was thinking it just so.
Well, when you're sitting there, it's like the waiting room of a doctor's office. I mean, how many times have you sat in a doctor's office and said, "Do I really need to be here? Because I've been sitting here for 45 minutes and nobody seems to care anyway." Right? I mean, it's very, very similar setup.
Right. But anyway, at the point in that day when whoever it was that said it said, if there's anybody here who wants to give the judge their reason that they can't be here, please line up now. And like half the room stood up and I thought, oh my gosh. I'm not going to be part of that. That was the point where I said, okay, I'm going to do whatever they need me to do up until I'm done. Because
you know what the great part of that was is that when the judge came to us, he goes, and I'm probably going to tell you, no, you can't get out of it. And so there are probably 25 people, 30 people who got in this line. And out of the 30 people, probably 28 of them ended up sitting right back down, including the guy sitting next to me. And I said, so, and I didn't say anything because it's not my business. And he looked at me and he goes, yeah, he told me that I needed to just sit down. I was like, that is great. That's great. So, and again, it's civic duty. It's part of, we all, they talk about it all the time. Nothing is free. And these are one of those fees that we have to pay for living in the greatest country in the world.
I can't wait till tomorrow. I want to hear what you have to say after it's all over.
Can you talk about it?
I know you won't be able to talk about it, but there will be things.
Well, at some point it becomes public record, right?
There will be things you can talk about. All right, hold on. Let me go to the phone. Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning. A few years ago, I got picked for jury duty, and I remember before the selection when they picked you, we were all sitting in that big room with a couple hundred people and no Wi-Fi, and I didn't even think to find one of the old books or magazines laying around. I just sat there bored. But whoever was up there, I don't know if it was a judge, I can't remember, but he did a nice little speech to us and said that, it is your duty. And if you had to have a trial, would you want all of the same people to be your jurors? Would you want all retirees because they don't have to work? He says that's why it's so important that we get working people, we get retirees, we get people from all walks of life, so we have a diverse jury. And it really hit home. And I was picked, and we had Judge Fudge, and he's also instilled in us that was our civic duty and how important it was. And I went through the jury process. Then I found out I was an alternate, and they released me. But I couldn't leave because it was so interesting. I had to stay and watch the rest of the case.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
But it was an experience, and I think everybody should experience it because it really instilled home that it was important for that person on trial to have his peers be of all different walks of life.
Yeah. All right, thank you, Linda. I appreciate that. You know what I don't understand? I don't understand when they say a jury of your peers, and then they'll have like a black man on trial, and it's an all-white jury. I don't understand how how that's his peers.
And you know what? That's a fair question. I really, and I've had this conversation with many a person. Black people are my peers. Chinese people are my peers. White people are my peers. Race shouldn't divide us by a peer.
All right, that's a good point. But sometimes cases they have a racial element to them.
That doesn't mean we're not their peers. If we in this society we should be able to discern.
No, I guess you're right.
That kind of thing.
Making a good point.
I mean, and this sounds horrible, but that's the kind of logic that continues to divide us. Right, is that we're somehow different from one another. The biggest difference between there are differences.
I'm not saying racial, but let's say I was on trial, 60-year-old white man, right? And it's 12 or 6. What is it, 6 or 12? How many in the jury?
It depends. It depends on the case, I think. So.
And it's and they're all 18-year-old, but they're mixed white and black. It doesn't matter.
Sure.
Or I guess 18. You can be a juror when you're 18, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, are those my peers? No.
Yeah. But again, when you're looking at it, you're all you want is whatever the number of jury, the 6 or 12 people, to listen to the case and have beyond reasonable doubt find you guilty. Right? That's the case.
Yeah.
They're not there to judge you as a human being. They're there to judge you. Did you break the law? And I think that's a big part of it. You know, did you or did you not break the law beyond a reasonable doubt?
Yeah,
did you do the crime that you're convicted of?
So that's your instructions for today. That's how you have to think about it.
Absolutely.
So that after, I'm so curious what you're going to say tomorrow. But after the whole thing is done today, you and the others will convene in a private room and you'll talk about it. Are you already aware which one of you is the leader of the pack? Don't they pick somebody to be the head honcho?
I don't think they have like a foreman. No, I mean, I don't know if they do or don't. I guess we'll find out today.
I wonder how they pick that person, if they do.
I have no idea. I mean, it wasn't discussed. It's not something we talked about or anything like that. I mean, it just...
Well, if you ask for volunteers, would you volunteer to do that?
I don't know.
You're a born leader. You're a leader.
You should do it, Galen.
I like to think that I don't know. You got to. I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to put myself in that situation because I've never been in it.
Huh? Is this the first time you've actually served on a jury?
Yeah, it's the first time I've been called.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I can't wait to hear what you tell us tomorrow.
Yeah, it'll be. I mean, I'm excited is the wrong word because in order to do this, somebody's life got turned upside down, whether rightfully or wrongfully. So
right now, do you know?
It's hard to look at it any other way.
Do you know what the crime is of the guy? You don't have to tell us. Okay.
Yeah.
Did anybody?
Yeah, they make that very clear in the jury process. I probably could. I mean, it's a DUI case. Oh. And so they made it very clear up front as to what the charge was. Because let's say, for example, and this happened, there was one of the jury members who daughter was killed by a drunk driver. I mean, I'm sorry, if my child was killed by a drunk driver, it would be very, very hard for me to not be, or to be impartial. Right? And
that person's on the jury.
No, they're not.
Oh, they're not.
They weren't chosen, and they shouldn't be. You shouldn't have to decide that when you have that kind of stuff hanging over you. And that's the right thing to do there. So.
All right. Well, you better stop talking about it. The rules you told us say don't talk about it. The judge might be listening right now.
Yeah,
who is this? What trial is he on?
I don't. I'm definitely not an expert. I've gotten chosen for a jury that hasn't even taken place yet. That's all I really know. I know what time I'm supposed to show up, and I know what time I'm supposed to where I'm supposed to go, and that's about it.
Do you know what I would have a problem with? And this is almost hard for me to admit. I would have a hard time not getting emotional if I found out that a child or died or something like that. I would cry. I would probably cry right there. And that would be weird, wouldn't it?
I don't think that's I thought about this because I'm a pretty emotional guy. You guys know that. I've thought about that a lot. But you know what? I don't think I think we should feel for the moment. Because it doesn't sound like in this case there is a victim, but in a lot of these cases there's a victim. And whether this person was responsible for this victim and what their final result was or not, I mean, there's still a victim that we should mourn for or cry for or feel something for.
Yeah.
I don't think this case is going to have that kind of thing. I think this is just probably from what it seems like, it's just a pretty much straightforward.
But it would be so hard for me. I mean, sometimes we had a lady in here, and she wrote a book that when we first got the book, we thought it was fiction. And then as I'm reading the book, I'm thinking, this is not fiction. She wrote it as if it was.
Yeah.
And long story short, her own son, who was an adult in his 20s, here in Florida, was found dead in a bathroom from a gunshot wound that his female roommate said he inflicted upon himself.
Yeah.
And and the mom, who was in the studio with us, felt like he had been murdered.
Yes.
The book is called Murder Blind, by the way, right?
Yeah.
Murder Blind?
Yeah. Murder Blind, Dawn Burby Rankin.
Yeah.
One thing I've learned is you do not underestimate a mom's sixth sense.
Yeah. I know. And
you just. Yeah.
She makes such a great case in the book. But anyway, besides that, if I was in that jury is what I wanted to go to with this, because I know from her that they were showing photographs. I know from what she told us that she was in the jury room for the entire trial. She wasn't on the jury, obviously, but she was in the courtroom. Did I say the jury room?
Yeah.
Courtroom is what I meant to say. And so if I knew that, if I'm a juror and I know, oh my gosh, that's the mom. And I guess you would know that. And oh my gosh, that's her son laying on that floor. Oh gosh, that would tear me up.
I think you would definitely figure it out after a while, because especially if it's a long trial like that.
Then I don't know if that would cause the judge to say, "Can I ever talk to you? You can't be
as
crying."
long as you didn't talk to them. Of course, again, and I do not know all the rules. I don't. I'm just playing one on the radio. As long as you don't talk to them directly, I don't think it's a problem. But I don't know that.
Yeah.
Well,
we're just going to have a one-day case. I mean, it's not like we're going to be absconded to some other place.
Can you imagine these people in these big trials like the Boston bomber? Gosh.
Oh yeah.
I would.
I wouldn't want to do that.
Well, that one. You know the thing about the Boston bomber is he's guilty. He's already admitted that he did it. So the trial is about whether or not he should be, whether he's crazy or if he should get the death penalty. So
he should have an accident.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fatal one.
You know what? I can't disagree with you there.
Do you know what? Regarding that guy, though, I used to read Rolling Stone magazine. I will never, ever read that magazine again. They put his.
You read that article. You read that article, and you realize that I'm sorry. That's not the time, because it was like 3 months after the incident that they wrote that article about this kid, and they were trying to explain that he was a great human being.
See, I didn't even read the article. I saw his picture on the cover.
Yeah.
You know, in my generation, to get your picture on the cover of the Rolling Stone meant that you were successful in the music business, and you had that was your moment of fame. And so fame is as superficial and flippant as it is what it is. That guy didn't deserve that. That guy didn't deserve that honor, whatever that is. I don't know. So I said to myself, whoever made that decision lost a customer.
Yeah.
In me.
Yeah. Good for you.
Well, you're doing a really wonderful thing, Galen. You're really inspiring people in the community and also within your own family, because your boys are growing up and you are their example. So you really are doing something great with being public about this.
Yeah. And
I think I'm not doing anything more than what I'm supposed to do. So.
Yeah, but the conversation about it being your duty, about it not being possible to have this great system without us being a part of it, that is a conversation that needs to be more often. And
I agree with.
Yeah.
And it's something that as a society we definitely need to promote.
All right, we'll do well today. We'll be thinking about you. I can't wait to hear what you say tomorrow. Where's the Bloodmobile today?
Bloodmobile today, Larry, is at the Publix right next to the mall.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Right there on 34th Avenue. I think it's Avenue. Yeah.
Right, exactly.
The Publix. You mean the
new one?
Oh, the new one by the school.
Across from Trinity High School.
Trinity. That's right. All right. Well, have a great time, and I can't wait for tomorrow. Be careful, and we'll talk to you tomorrow, Galen.
All right, thanks. You guys are the best.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Fox News Radio. I'm Lillian Wu. In France, where it's a national day of mourning, a ceremony to remember the 12 victims of yesterday's terror attack in Paris. This as the hunt goes on for the gunman.
7 people have been arrested, but 2 prime suspects, 2 brothers, are still on the run.
Fox Radio's Simon Owen. There was another incident this morning.
A police officer has been shot and killed in the south of the city. That attacker also then going on the run. Authorities say as yet they've not found a link between the attacks.
Another body recovered today in the Java Sea from the Air Asia crash, making a total of 4 41 victims found. Strong currents preventing divers from reaching the tail of the aircraft, which may contain the black boxes. And the Ohio bridal store linked to Ebola survivor Amber Vinson saying it's closing because it lost significant business and has been stigmatized. Fox News. We report, you decide.
Fox News on your time. The Fox News iPad app is ready to go with all the great features from FoxNews.com and our iPhone app optimized specifically for your iPad. Watch the latest clips from your favorite Fox News shows. Personalize the app by creating your own newscast using the video playlist. Listen to Fox News Radio live. Get local weather forecasts. And it's all free. Go to foxnews2go.mobi. That's Fox News, the number 2, go.mobi.
Some people would call him a loser. He ran for state office. He was beaten. He started a business. He failed. He ran for Congress. He lost. He was nominated for vice president. He lost again. But he knew only those who never try are the real losers. And Abraham Lincoln was no loser. Persistence. Pass it on. From the Foundation for a Better Life at values.com.
Howdy, folks. RL here for Dairy Queen, wishing you everyone a happy New Year. And to start it off right, you need a hot, juicy, char-grilled bacon cheeseburger, fried drink, and a sundae for just $5. Or try our famous chicken strips or wraps. Nobody offers all this quality and value but Dairy Queen. And this offer's good till 4 p.m. every day at Dairy Queen Silver Springs, where we always treat you like kings and queens.
Experience the golden age of aviation with a ride on a fully restored 1929 airliner, EAA's immaculate Ford Tri-Motor, when it lands at Ocala International Airport Thursday, January 15th through Sunday, January 18th. You can also take a ride on EAA's World War II B-17 bomber aluminum overcast, one of the greatest military aircraft of all time. Book your flights today online at b17.org and flytheford.org or call 1-800-359-6217. Hosted by EAA Chapter 812.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. For today, times of clouds and sun, breezy and quite cool. A brief shower or two in parts of the area. Highs ranging from 51 in the northernmost part of the zone to 63 in the southernmost part. Partly cloudy and quite chilly tonight, lows ranging from 38 across the interior to 54 on the coast. For tomorrow, times of clouds and sun, there may be a shower in spots near the coast. Highs ranging from 59 up north to 72 in the south. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Joe Lundberg.
Come be swept away with medieval magic by volunteering at the 29th Annual Hogtown Medieval Fair on January 24th and 25th and January 30th through February 1st at the Alachua County Fairgrounds. Volunteers will take tickets, oversee exhibits, or provide breaks for the artists. Become a part of Gainesville's rich tradition of community service. Volunteers will receive a one-day pass. Applications can be downloaded at gvlculturalaffairs.org or call the City of Gainesville at 352-393-8536. We all know the importance of good health, but we may not know the latest advances in medicine that are available to us. Monday at 9 a.m., Bern Paraiso will be our roving medical reporter to tell us about Seven Hill Gastroenterology PA and Dr. Reddy. We'll discuss screening, techniques, and more. So tune in and listen. This is more than news you can use. It's news that could save your life. That's Monday at 9:05 a.m.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host